As we continue our conversation, though, on inequalities, Sean Gallagher found out tomorrow isn't necessarily a celebration for everyone.
You know, clearly 4th of July is going to be different this year, but for some people around Milwaukee, they say it just feels different. No, not because of COVID-19, but because of the protests around the country on injustice, forcing change for people of color.
I may pop some firecrackers and, sit back or smoke a cigar, something to that extent.
You get to see the fireworks a lot.
For little DEMETRICE Sam II, the rocket's red glare is what he enjoys most. His father isn't taking that away from him, but he will educate him about what this day represents for African Americans.
4th of July, one point in time, it meant pride and being American, and as of lately, it's not so much. I also just let them know what the 4th of July meant, and as well as we just passed Juneteenth.
They didn't tell us a lot about Black history. We thought July 4th was just something we could celebrate, we can be with our family, but now since the movement and everything is going on, July 4th, we're not going to celebrate because it's not our history.
There will be a reminder that on July 4th, 1776, the Black people of this country were not free.
Representative David Bowen and other local leaders came together to talk about racial equity and justice heading into the holiday weekend.
It's also important to not dismiss the history that got us here, not dismiss the plight of folks that still were enslaved that day.
This 4th of July, most people of color, African American people more particularly, are going to look and say, hey, for us, it's Juneteenth. I'm recognizing Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is the celebration of freedom for all African Americans from slavery, a day where African Americans felt the same freedom America's forefathers felt from the British.
I think that a lot of people need to know that and understand that. And Juneteenth is our day to celebrate.
It's not necessarily replacing one holiday for the other, but understanding part of the freedom the 4th of July represents is the freedom to not celebrate.
It's huge to just sit back and just see how far we came as Black people. I think that's very important.
4th of July may mean something different to you, and 4th of July may mean something different for me, but how you celebrate is not wrong. How I celebrate is not wrong. All I can do is understand and appreciate how you understand.
I think the 4th of July is very important too, because when those last slaves were in Galveston, Texas, were told that they were free, you link that with what is promised to all people born in this country in our founding documents, and what the 4th of July celebrates. That's what we're striving for.
So even though July 4th means different things to different people, this Independence Day can mark one where people can celebrate their America their way. In Milwaukee, Sean Gallagher, TMJ4 News.